Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day and having an awesome week. Just want to say I appreciate the support in the channel, and thanks for coming back and watching another video. So I had two great sheds with two of my biggest boas, and then a couple of the smaller snakes had some nice sheds as well. So I'm going to show you guys the common boa, then the Argentine boa, and then we'll just go look at the smaller ones. So this girl right here is this is my first boa that I ever bought about 4-ish years ago, and she's definitely growing very nicely. She looks really good in my opinion. Great colors on her, and this is just the basic of the basics. No morphs, not het for anything. She's not a red tail. She's just a common basic snake that you would find anywhere in the jungles, which is perfectly fine. You can probably pick these up now for around $100, maybe a little less. Obviously the pricing on all snakes have gone up in the last 2 years. These will probably be very easy to find most of the time, I would say. But like I said, this is just the common boa, so not to be confused with the Redtail bloodline boas. And even though you would probably just go into PetSmart or Petco and see one of these, and the labeling will say Redtail, and they'll probably be about $200 to $300, which is a lot more expensive than what you should be paying. But as you can see, they look very nice, really good tails as they grow up. They fade out a little bit, but not a lot. She still has a lot of the rusty color. I'm not going to say it's really red, because if you do see the true red tails, the Guyanas, the Surinams, and the Peruvians, their tails are almost blood red and they look really, really nice. But anyways, this girl just shed out and had a perfect shed with her. She is on large rats now, and her attitude is very, very nice out of the cage. Sometimes she can throw a little bit of a fit if I'm giving her or the other snakes water or something like that in the cages. And then the Argentine at the very top has the worst attitude when she's in the cage. She's super cage aggressive, but we'll talk about her in a little bit. But when they are out, they're perfectly calm, relatively laid back, and this girl would probably just sit here probably all night. They do on this tub, it's kind of weird because it has this lip right here, and they do like to kind of get up under here, and I don't know why, but they just like all the boas, they go off the top and then they try to go in here, which just proves that most snakes do like smaller areas. Again, you know, a lot of people hate on the tubs where you know, the snakes do very, very well in tubs. A lot of people think if you're not keeping them in a PVC enclosure with windows on it, you're a bad snake keeper. But I will tell you from experience, between this girl right here and the Argentine, if you have a lot of traffic, and this is my experience, a lot of traffic through and through, which I don't, because I finally, in this room, I have them in the back corner. In the other room, I had them right where I was walking into the room, and they would hit the glass. They would strike the glass out of a feeding response or just a defensive response. And at some point they're going to break their jaws and hopefully not break their necks. I have seen people online having vet bills where they've had dislocated jaws, and I've seen people with dead snakes from cracking the glass too much and too hard. So there's definitely good and bad on every different type of setup, and unfortunately, my two snakes, I see the bad with that. Now I do know ARS and Freedom Breeder does make those super long plastic pull-out drawers with no windows, which are, you know, 5 feet long, 6 feet long, which I would say is perfect, but they are very expensive. You will not have any issues with snakes harming themselves, which is, you know, sometimes we do have to put the snake's well-being over our human thoughts that they need all of this stuff for comfort, and reality is they don't need it. So we'll kind of went off on a little tangent there, but you know, I get it all the time with the plastic tubs. It's whatever though. So really, really pretty girl. I can probably show you guys the difference between a smaller Guyana and, shockingly, these two girls are the exact same age. Now the Redtails do have a slower growth rate, but she did have some issues as when she was younger on feeding, but she is gaining back some of her weight and size. So we can see big difference, even though this normal is a lot bigger and she has faded out. The true red tails will not fade out, so their tails are blood red compared to a rusty red. And then you can see some of the patterns on the saddles compare, and I do believe that the common boas have more saddles than the Guyanas and the Surinams and the Peruvians. So that's kind of a giveaway. And then you can see the lighter tones, and then you can see just the crispier, different markings, how they come to more of a point, and then just kind of the pinkish colors on the sides, if it shows up. But that is just a quick little reference. And it's really cool because the true red tails, as they get older, their tails do get brighter and brighter. So I'm going to put her back, and we're going to get the Argentine out because she shed and she's looking really, really nice. All right, this lovely lady, she's a 2017, just your basic black and white Argentine boa, but she's looking really, really nice out of shed. Beautiful colors on her, even though she is black and white. The contrast goes together extremely well. Awesome patterns on her. A lot of iridescence if you can get the right lighting on her, or if you go out in the sun, get some natural light on her, she looks 1,000 times better. And we can see down on her tail that she is a pure Argentine boa. A lot of people kind of mix, I'm not going to say a lot of people, but some people do kind of breed these with the pure red tails, or sometimes they mix them with the common boas. So then you can definitely see the more red in the tail, and then you can see some of the saddling a little bit more on how the common boas would look. But this girl right here has a very large personality for her size, and nothing wrong with that, but she will light you up when and if she can get the chance. She's normally pretty calm when she's outside of her cage, but again, like I said, if I'm doing any type of work over there, or if, you know, walking back and forth, and she sees me, she's out of her hide, she will strike the glass like full on feeding response. And so it does make me nervous that she's going to hurt herself. These girls are, well, just these snakes in general are getting a little bit more rare to find. You're going to have to find a specialty breeder on them because they are on the endangered list or the watch list in Argentina. And so importation is, as far as I know, illegal into the States or probably anywhere else. So they do have the Max Pink line out, which those look very, very nice. And I mean, I would not mind getting a male for her on the Max Pink line, but I don't know if that's something that should be done because it might be muddying the water, mixing the black and white with the Max Pink line, so it's not a pure blood. I don't know if that would be considered not a pure blood Max Pink, because maybe some breeders like to breed with just the Max Pink to a Max Pink and keep the blood more pure. But I would assume that 50% of the offspring would be Max Pink and the other 50 would be black and white, which would be really cool, I think. So, well, she's getting a little curious. I don't think she's really going to be in too much of a defensive mode, but I have been bit by her and it is not pleasant. It was just a defensive strike, so it wasn't a feeding strike or anything, so she didn't wrap. But again, this girl, I would not want to have any type of bad contact with her. And from what I'm seeing is that the Argentines are one of the heavier bodied boa constrictors. So I'm seeing 10, 11 foot, 40-pound Argentines. Now the weight might be a little bit off, but they do get a lot bigger than most of these other boas that have, you know, like the common one, or I don't know, just like one of these, like the INGs. I think, you know what I mean. Like they're not gonna get 40. I don't think they're gonna get 40 pounds or 11 feet. But they are localities, and a lot of people do like the locality snakes. And I would say if you're looking for a good locality, definitely if you have $1,000 to burn, I would find somebody that is breeding the Argentines and definitely put one of these in your collection. Like I said, when she's out, she's fine. I can carry her around the house, interact with her, leave her up here or in the room for a little bit so she can get some exercise. Not really have any issues, but I just think I do like the true red tails, but an Argentine, especially an adult, is just, they're just amazing. And you don't see them everywhere, so that's another plus to have one in your collection. So the Orange Dream Enchi Leopard Pied shed out. This guy's looking really good, a couple months old. And should be able to breed him next year if all works out. Still waiting on the Jungle Hypo Pass. That would have shed out. I thought she would have shed out already since it's been over a week, but maybe tonight she'll shed out. We'll see. And that is, oh, she's getting curious about something. So it's gone 2 days without Pop-Tart going to the bathroom in the water, which is a record. She is hiding underneath her water dish, which is perfectly fine. All right, guys, that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing the Argentine, the common, and at least one of the ball pythons. And I just want to say I really appreciate the support on the channel. And if you guys like what you see, maybe you'll subscribe, come back and watch some more videos. And I'll see you guys on the next video.